Hello, and welcome to this review video on maps and iterators in C++. Now first off, what is a map? A map is a type of data structure such as like a linked list or a vector or an array, just like any other type of container that holds data. But what makes it different from all of those is that it contains a key value and a value value. The key value is a variable that is used to retrieve a certain member of the map, and it must be a unique key, so no key must match another key within a map. And the value is the variable that is retrieved from the map using the aforementioned key. A map may be called different things in different languages, such as in C# where it's called a dictionary. And as you can see on the right, it is syntaxed by map less than sign, your key type, comma, your value type, greater than bracket, and then the name of whatever you want to call your map. Now there are two ways to add a key value pair to your map: the InPlace method and the brackets operator. InPlace is a method that takes in two parameters, your key and your value, and adds it to a map, such as here in this example, map name.InPlace key comma value. And if our key were to be an integer and our value were to be a string, it would be something like map name.InPlace 102 comma Stephen Smith. And the InPlace method will not overwrite an existing key. So if you were to try to do perhaps say InPlace 102 comma Aaron Rodgers, it would still keep the 102 comma Stephen Smith as the key value pair rather than switching it to 102 comma Aaron Rodgers. The brackets operator is used to set the value of some key, such as seen in this example here, where map name bracket key bracket is equal to your value. Now if we were to take that same example from InPlace and put it in terms of the bracket operator, it would be your map name bracket, your key, which in this case is 102, close bracket, is equal to Stephen Smith. But what makes it different from InPlace is that if you were to change your value of the key, it would overwrite said existing key. So if you were to use the example from before, Aaron Rodgers, the bracket operator would change that key value pair to 102 Aaron Rodgers. Now you're probably thinking that keys are likely not going to be in order. They're not going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or they may not even be a number at all. You could have them be a string, a vector of strings. They could be any variable type. So how do we traverse through a map? The answer is with an iterator. An iterator, as the name suggests, is used to iterate through a map or an other container. The first is used to retrieve the key of the iterator, and the second is used to retrieve the value of the iterator. And here you can see on the right a code example of how you would iterate through a map. You declare your iterator, which in this case has been named iter, but you can name it anything you like. And then you usually set it equal to your map name.begin to make it equal to your first key value pair within your dictionary. And to iterate throughout your dictionary or map, you use a for loop, such as seen here, where you keep going until your iterator is not equal to your last example in your map. Now I'm going to go over to CLion to show you an example program. You can see up in here we have included map and we are using namespace std. On line 7, we declare a map of key type integer and value type string, and we call it employee map. On lines 9 and 10, we use the InPlace method to add two key value pairs within our employee map. And on lines 12 through 14, we add three key value pairs with the bracket operator. If you will notice, on line 9, our key is 100, and on line 14, our key is also 100. But since we are using the bracket operator here, it will replace Jose Siri for the key 100 with Randia Rosarena. But on line 16, we also use the emplace method here for the key 100 with Junior Caminero, but this emplace method will not overwrite the aforementioned bracket operator. On line 18, we declare an iterator called iter. On line 19, we make that equal to our employee map.begin. On lines 21 through 25, we declare a for loop that goes through each member of the map and writes the ID and the employee name, which will be written with iter point first and iter point second. If we are to run this program, you can already see it down there because I test ran this to make sure it worked. But you will see that we get our keys and our values with the text that we provided earlier. And you will see that with the key value pair with the ID of 100, we emplaced it here originally with the value Jose Siri, and then we used the bracket operator here to change that value to Randia Rosarena, which can be seen here. And then we try to emplace it with the value Junior Caminero, but the emplace method does not overwrite an existing key, so the value remains at Randia Rosarena. Thank you for watching this review video on maps and iterators in C++.